Welcome to Bike Life Radio from KWNK 97.7 FM from the Reno Bike Project, NevadaBike.org, and BikeWashoe.org. We ride our bikes out into the world with a recorder and talk to people about their bikes and their lives. I'm Kai Plascon. Right on. This week, we're on the Connected Communities route. It starts in Reno, and it's by the Sierra Buttes Trail Stewardship. It connects a dozen communities with hundreds of miles of dirt trails for all users. One of the stops on this massive new network is Quincy, California. It's a new mountain biking destination in the Sierra. This is the second show on Quincy that we've done over the past 4 years or so. Full disclosure, when I saw that mountain biking tour outfit Yuba Expeditions had moved to Quincy from Downeyville, I knew that bikes would be a big part of Quincy's future. So I decided to buy property there in Quincy. I'm a little example, right, of new investment in the community as a result of the mountain bike trail network. And I'm not alone. I'm watching things change as more and more bike riders and businesses that cater to mountain bikers are coming to town. Today's show is about a better example than me. At the beginning of this year, an old gas station that sat vacant for years was converted into what I like to call a bike station. It's a brewery and bar that hosts a bike tour company. That business is called Rich Bar. What you hear right now is music being played in the background by Alex Westerberg, the owner. He's spinning some tunes as he does every Sunday afternoon at the bar. Next week, we're going to talk to him on the show. This week, we chat with some customers at Rich Bar about the irony of changing a former car service station into a bike station. We're also going to talk to Samantha Rick, the manager of Rich Bar. Here she is. And so you ride a bike for many reasons, one being that you enjoy it, but there's also other reasons too, right, Sam?
Correct, yeah.
Tell us about them.
Okay. So I was born with cystic fibrosis, and I've had 2 double lung transplants, and I've always been a huge advocate for awareness of my disease, cystic fibrosis, and do whatever I can to advocate for that. And also showing the possibilities of what you can do after, immense surgeries, and double lung transplants are very much included in that.
Did they replace them both at the same time?
Yes. Yeah. I had my first one in 2011, and then I went through chronic rejection 5 years later in 2016, and then I had to have a second one. Huh. And so, riding bikes is kind of my saving grace. I kept my Santa Cruz stigmata in my hospital room while I recovered, just to get inspiration.
Your bike inspired you, just be having it around. Wow.
I'm just I need to get back to that. It's just motivating. So I participate in a lot of biking events that are put on by the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation and the Lung Transplant Foundation, just to raise awareness and be there as a quote-unquote fighter of the disease, and just show that, despite all of the challenges that come along with having a chronic lung condition that, is quote-unquote, what the word? I don't even want to say it. That you'll succumb to. It's more like just getting exercise and focusing on something else, and that's kind of how you overcome it. And I don't know, exercise has saved my life in so many ways, and biking has been the main focus of that, for sure. I just want other people to know, in my position, that they can do it too. Yeah, it's healthy, for your mental health, your physical health, emotional health, everything. Yeah, biking's the way.
All right, thank you, Sam, at Rich Bar, the manager here. Thank you for being on Bike Life Radio.
Oh, thanks for asking me to be. I appreciate it.
You were reluctant.
I was.
All right, well, now how do you feel?
I feel good about it.
Yeah. All right. Good. Thank you.
Everyone should do it.
Yes. Okay. Say that again. I'm not sure I caught it on recorder.
Everyone should do it.
All right. Everybody should do Bike Life Radio interviews. Thank you.
Now I need to listen to it.
They were interviewed as well.
Oh, yay.
My name is Taj.
Okay. Taj?
Yes, Taj.
All right. And you have a bike story that you'd like to share. Well, where the hell are we?
We are in Quincy. However, my bike story is more...
Wait. We're in Quincy. Where in Quincy? There's music. You have a beer. Yeah, where are we?
We're in a brewery. And
Rich Bar.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Rich Bar.
Did you forget?
I did. And
Because he's had beers.
because actually the beer is so good, it forgets all your troubles. Everything. It's fantastic.
There's bike talk radio. There's a lot of those, and this is kind of like that, similar to that. But people don't realize that they talk about bikes probably almost as much as they talk about cars or have stories about them. You know,
It's part of our vernacular because we say, "Oh, that's as easy as riding a bike."
Oh yeah.
Right? It's just
our vernacular.
it's like it's Americana, right? It's yeah.
Now we're talking to Russell,
Yes, we are talking to Russell.
best friend of Taj.
Best friend of Taj.
Yeah.
Yes, 40 years now. We're celebrating our 40-year anniversary of best friends.
It's a new relationship.
Yeah.
Cheers to that.
Cheers.
All right.
Yes. Oh, you can hear that. Yes.
Love it.
So yeah, I have a good bike story.
You do have a good
I
bike
have
story.
A really good bike story.
Cool.
Yeah. So we're here in Quincy in the mountains here. I have a place on the river about 10 miles outside of town. And this was about 12 years ago. My daughter was having her 16th birthday party at our cabin here on the river. And so a bunch of friends come up to the house, had, the family and stuff like that to celebrate. Big weekend on the river at the cabin. And I had a mountain bike, and I decided, you know what, I want to go out for a little workout. So I told my wife I'm going to go out and I'm going to take my bike. It's like a 7-mile ride uphill to this reservoir called Round Valley Reservoir. And I said, I'm going to drive bike up there, bike around it, come back down. I'll be gone maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours. Very important day. This is a very important day for my daughter, right? And so,
I needed to be back.
I need to be back because I'm the chef, right? And I have a wood-fired oven. I'm supposed to. It's pizza day for everybody. I'm cooking pizzas for everybody and all this
You weren't
stuff.
trying to escape
I was not trying to escape. I was just trying to get an early workout.
before you eat all this food.
No. Yeah, but I'm an integral part of the day and the entertainment for the day. And so I go up, and so I do my bike right around the lake, and then I thought, I've always been looking for a way that I can get from that lake back to my property via trail without having to come down to the highway and ride on the highway, right? And so, like an idiot, I found this little side dirt road coming off the lake. I thought, that's going in the direction, let's just try that. So I went that direction on my mountain bike. And as I'm going down, which is fun and easy because you're going down, and I'm exhausted.
You don't want to stop.
You don't want to stop. And now all of a sudden, this old logging road is now being overgrown by trees, and it's like, okay, this is not a road anymore. This is, now just kind of wild. And so I'm having to stop, get off my bike, kind of walk it around, carry it, get back on, ride a little bit more. And now I'm down, and now I'm thinking time-wise, like, oh my gosh, I've expended time. I can't turn around and go back. So I've just got to kind of keep going, which was the stupidest decision I've ever made in my life. So the road ends. It's gone. It doesn't exist anymore. And now
Worst case scenario.
I'm in the woods. I'm now carrying my bike through woods.
Your bike was going for a human ride.
Yes, it was. So my bike was really enjoying it. Pay me back.
Did the bike tell your wife that you'd be doing this?
No, it didn't. And so
It was going for a human ride?
it was going to be human right. Yeah, it was like quid pro quo. And then and the further you go, the more you're committed, right? And you can't go back, which once again is stupid for everybody listening to this. If you're in this situation, go back.
You can
Go back. You can go back, and please go back, because what was supposed to be an hour and a half ended up being 8 hours.
Wow.
Yeah, it was really bad. I mean, I ended up having to go through, and then there was no trails, and I'm going down. Now I'm having to follow a creek, and I'm carrying this creek that's going, down a steep ravine, and I'm falling in the creek and tumbling, and my bike's tumbling, and it was by the time I actually found a trail, which was now hours and hours later, I'm dehydrated. My phone, by the way, don't go into the woods with a low battery on your phone. Don't ever do that. Because they can't call me. So they're thinking, I'm gone. I'm supposed to be gone for an hour and a half. I'm now gone for 8 hours. They're thinking, he's been killed he's been eaten by a mountain lion. They have sheriffs out looking for me.
Wow.
They have a search and rescue is about to look for me. Now all of a sudden it's not a jovial 16th birthday party. And so finally I found my way down to a trail, an actual road, and rode back into home. I am bloody and bruised, and I ride back into camp. And my wife could not even talk to me. She was happy to see me alive, but on the other hand, very upset that I was gone for 8 hours. But I did survive. So that's the moral of the story is go back.
Congratulations on surviving.
Thank you.
And when we first spoke, you had said that you haven't gone for a bike ride in a while. Was that like the last one you ever did or anything?
No, it's because up here, and this is a sad story, 3 years ago we had the Dixie fire up here. And so I lost the property and my mountain bike to that fire. So that's why I've not mountain biked since then. Yeah.
So the other topic that I wanted to talk to you about, and it's a bit of a trend, at least that I've noticed in a couple of places, like Loyalton, for instance, and also here, is that old gas stations are getting converted into bike stations. So, like, this is a bike station, right? They have the monkey mountain biking thing, right outside. And so I wonder if you have any thoughts about that. Being old guys and, well, me too, from back in the...
Okay, this interview's all of a sudden gone south. Wow.
From the days...
I am what I am.
Mountain
So says
biking,
Popeye.
I was telling my daughter that
Right.
mountain biking wasn't a thing when I was a kid. Like, you had a BMX bike and you could maybe find a jump, go on a dirt road or whatever.
We used to jump ditches when I was a kid. Like, my first bike, like, oh my gosh, it had a banana seat on it, and I built a ramp, and I remember, like, I built this ramp. I'm so stoked, I'm gonna jump the ditch in front of my house, right? And so I jumped the ditch, and I was like, I totally landed it, and then my butt hit the banana seat on my land, and I bent the banana seat down.
Wow.
But I survived. I was like Evel Knievel. It was like, that was pretty much
on a
banana seat.
a stingray bike maybe.
Kind of like a stingray.
I told my daughters that I had a banana seat on my bike, and they were like, "What?" Like, that is not the kind of thing that you would imagine sitting on. And somebody had the idea that it was something that we would want to sit on.
And it's not comfortable. It is not comfortable.
So a lot of people are listening to this interview, and they have no idea what a banana seat is.
I don't know what we went through.
They're listening.
Today,
They're Googling
it is
right now.
so much
They're
better.
Googling banana seat. Like,
Today, it's amazing.
they're picturing
The
a fruit.
seats are comfortable.
They're picturing they're sitting on a fruit.
Right.
It may not be pointed in the right direction.
Like a yellow fruit? Why would I sit on a yellow fruit?
Cool looking, but not practical, not functional. Bicycles today have shocks, have everything you need, and so much more comfortable.
So
Unbelievable.
Back to the idea that car stations are being turned into bike stations now. Do you have any thoughts about that? Bikes or cars were so important back in the day, and they still are today. We're here at Rich Bar, and there's these big garage doors that have been converted into glass. And so you can see out of them. There's 2 of them, and it's just kind of a beautiful location right on a main drag in a spot where a lot of traffic kind of comes together. And back in the day, maybe the 60s or something like that, this would have been a place where everybody came to get their oil changed or something, right?
Hot rods and vehicles that got like 6 to 8 miles per gallon. And 427s, 454s, all you Chevy lovers know what I'm talking about, right? 420. I had a 427 Chevy Impala, massive. But you know what? If you can ride a bike instead of riding a car to where you're going, ride a bike.
Of course. And
Ride
we're now,
a
right?
bike.
It's all about sustainability, right?
Right.
And traffic and everything. I mean, it's all across the board, right?
It's everything. It's environmental.
Cities are, incorporating that.
Right.
Davis is a fantastic city. Portland.
Go ahead.
Well, what would the scene have been like in a small garage like this? Like, we think of car repair places as really big places
You're
nowadays.
asking us that because we're old.
Yeah, exactly.
We're
Yeah,
actually
He's asking us this because we lived it, And I'm not sure if it's a compliment or not, but I'll go with it. I'm going to go with it, right?
You only respond to compliments.
And I did have a massive hot rod and everything else, and
We're talking to Taj, at Rich Bar. What's your last name, Taj? T-A-J?
T-A-D-J.
T-A-D-J.
I'm actually Polish, so.
I am too.
Oh, very good. Last name is Ratajczak, which is a very long name.
What would it have been like here then, back in those days, I guess, that you had your Chevy, would you say?
Well, it was a different time. Gas was 30, 40, 50 cents a gallon, right? No one cared about gas mileage. Everybody cared about horsepower, torque, things like that. It was so cool to have a hot rod that could do the quarter mile in 13, 12, 11, 10 seconds. There was no traffic. It was a different world. So to compare today to then is kind of unfair. Now we know so much more, okay? The world doesn't need that kind of power. Gas consumption. Global heating. The whole thing is like okay, we know more today. All right, and you know what? You can get the same thrill from doing a quarter mile on a hot rod than you can on a bicycle in the right place.
Nice. So the people brought their hot rods to a place like this, right? Yes. And they knew like the local mechanic or something, and that was like the guy who knew the most. Like, you knew a lot about your car, but then the mechanic knew. Yeah.
You still know.
But cars were also easier to fix too, then, right? So, under what circumstances would you have to take your car to a place like this?
Yeah. I don't know.
Back in the day, you and a couple of buddies would open your hood, sit on the fenders, and work on your car. That's how big they were, and it was simple. It was different, right? And the amount of carbon footprint you didn't matter because there wasn't that many of you. Since then the population has doubled or more, so now it matters, right? So when you look at an old guy and you say, "Oh, you drove this kind of car," it didn't matter back then.
Well, they're kind of jealous. At least my
jealous.
kids are. They're like, "Whoa, I wish I had that car."
Plus, you can't work.
And then
on
you're like,
cars
"You
now.
don't." Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Well, you can't work on bicycles now in some cases. Like,
Because the population is more than doubled. Okay, well, think about it. Now, your pollution has to be half as much.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
So, don't get mad at old people.
No.
Right? Because our pollution didn't hurt anybody. Right? Today, it's like, we have to be careful.
Yeah.
Right? It's a different world. So judge people in the era they're in. That's all I got to say. Right? Today,
Spoken like a true old person.
that's right.
Thank you.
Today,
Thank you for representing.
I drive an Outback, right? It gets 32 miles per gallon.
Yeah.
It does not pollute, right?
Yeah.
And it's amazing, right? So you adapt to the time you're in, right? And so this whole blaming thing, it's wrong.
Right.
You live in the time you live in. Right now it's 2024. Hey, don't drive a car that pollutes too much. Don't do the things that your grandparents did. They could get away with it because it was half the population, right?
And you should convert all old gas stations into brewery bike shops right? That's what I'm saying.
Well, that's what's interesting about this is it's sat empty probably for a decade or something, and then it's been
it's been redone into this marvelous, wonderful thing. Right.
Rich Bar. This is KWNK 97.7 FM Bike Life Radio. I'm Kai Plaskon. We're talking to Taj and Russ at Rich Bar about the conversion of this once garage gas station into a bike station where people can come and get beer and then also get on their bikes and ride into the mountains.
Preferably don't ride your bike when you're drinking beer.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Well, that's hard. I've tried it, and it's really difficult. You have to have a lot of skill. So don't do it unless you have practiced a lot or
You
something.
can't get a DUI on a bike.
You can.
Yes, you can.
Yes. Learn the rules, learn the laws, but this is wonderful. You can come here, you can eat, you can drink, you can socialize with people. Everybody's invited. I don't care what you think politically. I don't think what you think culturally. Come here, enjoy yourself.
Quincy's pretty unique in that way from
Yes.
a political standpoint
Yes,
because
I
it's
love
like
it.
you
I
have.
love
I've never seen a local culture get along so well that is so diverse because you have. It's an old town, right? So you have old country. Western conservative cowboys and you have hippie liberals, right? And they all get along.
Everybody gets along.
It's fantastic. It is fantastic.
It is unique, and I wish the rest of the country.
The rest of the world.
Well said. I wish the rest of the world would adapt this attitude.
Yes.
I don't care who sits next to you.
Yeah.
Talk to them.
What their political beliefs are.
Have a
Yeah.
beer.
Yeah.
Right? Get to know them.
Yeah.
Listen to them.
We all want the same
Make your own
thing.
judgment,
Yeah.
but listen to others.
Yeah, we all have good hearts. We all want the same thing.
Yeah.
So we're not. We don't actually partake in the bike scene here for some. But it has exploded here in Quincy the last 5 to 10 years. I mean, there's a lot of mountain biking here now. It's become kind of an epicenter in this area for mountain biking.
I was thinking the bar itself, like the atmosphere in the
The bar is amazing.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. I have never come here and not met someone interesting. Ever.
Oh.
Ever. You included, by the way.
Thanks.
Yes.
I mean, you let your daughters paint your van. That's phenomenal. You're like dad of the year.
Okay. Russell and I both have daughters. When you said I let my daughters paint my van, I'm like,
wow.
he's won us over.
Anything you'd like to add about this bar in particular and its bike station conversion, from a gas station? Anything you'd like to add about that?
Well, I think it's taking something that used to be really cool in the past and made something really cool in the present, and I applaud them.
For decades, this place was vacant, right? As an old gas station, and now they revamped it like this, and it's just about community, right? And it's not just local community; it's all community, right? And bringing in people people coming up for the biking scene, and they have a hub now to hang out at and go do that, right? So it's just this great thing in bringing together community, right?
Nice. All right, we were talking to Taj and Russ at Rich Bar in Quincy, and at Rich Bar, which has been converted from a gas station into a bike station. At least that's what I like to call it. And the owner, Alex, probably he has probably other words for it, and may disagree with my bike station way of putting it. But thank you for being on Bike Life Radio. I really appreciate it.
Oh, my pleasure.
Our pleasure.
Our pleasure.
I never knew that you were going to be on, did you? That was Taj and Russell, two best friends reminiscing about old car times at the new Rich Bar in Quincy, California. It's an old car service station that has been converted into what I like to call a bike station. That's because it hosts a bike tour company. It's on the Connected Communities Trail route. And this route connects Reno to a dozen other communities in the Sierra. The trail system is being developed by the Sierra Buttes Trail Stewardship. You can learn more in Taylorsville, California on September 14th. And there's a Mountain to Meadows ride and a trail building session on September 19th to the 21st in Quincy, California. Go to sierratrails.org for details on that. It's going to be exciting to see what other new businesses develop along the Connected Communities route, reviving these old mountain towns along the way. Earlier, we heard from Samantha Rick, who is the manager of the bar. And next week, we're going to hear from Alex Westerberg, the owner of Rich Bar in Quincy, California. I hope you tune in. That's it for Bike Life Radio. We ride our bikes out into the world with a recorder, and we talk to people about their bikes and their lives. Now at a new time at 5:30 every Sunday. I'm Kai Plascon. Right on.